What's up, guys? Well, I want to do this video to touch on a topic that came up last night in my live feed on YouTube. Every night on this channel, I go live around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I usually, talk about one specific topic to open up the show. It could be anything: car living, politics, just a general thought that I'm having. Then after that, I usually take the comments of the viewers and we read them, talk about them. And at the end of the live feed, one of my viewers, good viewer, good person, Showgirls from Florida, Showgirls is her tag name, she had mentioned that her daughter, I asked about her daughter because I've seen them on YouTube, and I said, how's your daughter, how are you? And she said her daughter ran away from home the other night. And I thought, I felt empathy because I know that being a parent and being a child is a very tough part of life. Being a parent is the ultimate emotional burden, the ultimate emotional worry. It could be a blessing too to be a parent, but being a child, remember that every parent was once a child. So what I would tell any parent is that just remember when you were a child and what you went through at the age of your child. When you were 18, how did you think? Did I ever run away from home? Yes, but it was like for 2 days, and I just went to a friend's house and I came back. So, if your daughter, if your son runs away from home, it may just be part of that age, right? Now, it may be a more serious thing, God forbid. There's different circumstances. On average, when you're young and you're in your teenage years, you're just trying to find your way. You're trying to find your way and get to a point where you can have independence. Independence is a huge part of life. You're fighting for it when you're young. You're fighting for it when you're in a relationship. And you're fighting for it when you're old. You want to hang on to your independence. It's a very valuable thing to the human psyche. But with independence comes a lot of responsibility. Okay, and that's why, children eventually do come home because they need help. I think about the prodigal son, which was a parable in the Bible that this son ran away from home, took his inheritance, spent it on hookers and gambling, and then came back home. Now, I often find it interesting. I don't think he really came back home because he loved his parents. I just think he came back home because he needed more money. He ran out of money. That's my opinion. Will your children come back home? I think for the most part, children come back home after they run away because they run out of resources and they realize how hard life is and how fortunate they may be to have someone to love them and take care of them. But it also teaches them that if someone's going to take care of you, then you sacrifice some independence. The number one reason I do not want to be in a relationship is because I don't want to sacrifice any independence. Now, when you're in a relationship, you share the resources, you share the emotional support, but you also have to share the burden of dealing with someone else. And when you're 18, you don't realize that independence comes with a price, and it's the responsibility of taking care of yourself, emotionally, financially, and many other ways. So, to Showgirls and to all the parents out there that may go through a season of their life where their children run away or go away or move out or whatever the circumstance, just know that there's nothing new under the sun. Most people have gone through that. Most of the times it's an insignificant time. Well, not an insignificant time, but the children will be back again. They're just figuring out life. Sometimes there's extreme circumstances, and I really do mean it when I say I'm praying for every child and every parent out there that they don't have to face those extreme circumstances. But you also have to let go a little bit, as hard as that may be, because everyone has to live their own life. That's part of having a child. When you sign up to have a child, when you decide to keep it, when you decide to sleep with someone with unprotected sex or whatever, that's that's the burden of having a child. It is. I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. We can share here because, look, it's part of life. But, most people, they also sacrifice when they have a child. They sacrifice for the greater good of their child. They do the best they can. To every parent out there, you're going to fail, you're going to do great, but you're going to do the best you can. Sometimes it's good enough, sometimes it's not. You can't beat yourself up forever, And all my children out there are teenagers. Look, when you move out on your own, you have to take accountability for your life. And if you're a grown adult, male or female, living in your mother's house, shut the fuck up, okay? And deal with it, okay? Because that's what you choose when you don't want to work. You got to deal with your house, okay? You're not men going your own way. You're a man depending on your mama, okay? And same thing for you girls out there, okay? So guys, look, there's only two options in life. You go out there and you're going to need help when you're young, just like everyone did, but you got to start. You go out there and you make your own way and you live independent, or you live with someone else and you deal with their shit, okay? But when you run away, guys, there's a whole nasty world out there. However, it's part of figuring out life, And I can't tell everyone how to live. I'm sharing my opinions in my life. And I just thinking about Showgirls. I'm thinking about your daughter this morning. And look, it's not, it's your business. You know what I mean? And Showgirls isn't your real name, obviously. So I'm not blowing your spot. I remember dating a stripper. And she was named I don't remember what her stripper name was. But yeah, I called her by her stripper name. She goes, Sam, that's not my real name, right? But for some reason, I thought it was her real name. Guys and girls and young boys and men that are living with their mama, not going their own way. Guys, do what you want. It's your life. But everything has a counterbalance. You want to run away, you're going to have to deal with the nasty world. But if you live responsibly, work, and hang around positive people and have a support system, whether it's a church or therapy group, you can have a lot of healthy relationships in a healthy world. But if you hang around trash, your life's going to be trash. That's truth. That's what Showgirl says, and I agree with that. However, we all hang around trash, and sometimes we probably all ourselves have been a bad influence. That's part of learning and developing life. But as soon as you can, get away from unhealthy people. One of the biggest decisions I made in my life was, and I didn't even have bad friends, but I stopped hanging around certain friends and I got into the church. Why? To change my relationships, to change my direction. I eventually got out of the church because I was getting stuck in religious dogma, but I thank God for the church for saving my life, spirituality. To a certain degree, I put in the work myself as well. Faith without works is dead. But guys, if you hang around the streets or strippers, or all that's good, you should experience life. Don't just hang around church. But also get your shit together, okay? Because when you run away, you realize what this world is. To all my parents out there, peace be with you. To all my parents out there, peace be with you. Let's end it on that note. Click that thumbs up, share the video, subscribe if you're not. Check out my playlist on my Patreon. Love and peace to everyone.